We're Team One, and our project is titled Flock Together. Birds disperse seeds, spreading plants into new areas. Birds such as hummingbirds help to pollinate plants, while birds like hawks and owls keep the mouse and rat population in check. Bird population has been declining. In North America, the population has declined by about 2.9 billion breeding birds since 1970. This is more than a quarter of the total. This includes specific species like the dark-eyed junco, white-throated sparrow, eastern and western meadowlarks, and red-winged blackbirds. Bird collisions with buildings are a leading cause of bird mortality, with up to 1 billion birds dying each year in the United States. Birds collide with buildings for a number of reasons, the main one being building height. The most hazardous areas of all buildings, especially during the day and regardless of overall height, are the ground and bottom view stories. Moderate height buildings, buildings between 50 and 500 feet, pose hazards since migrating birds descend from migration heights early in the morning to rest and forage for food. In other elements, we can know that approximately 98% of flying birds migrate at heights below 1,640 feet during the spring. Any building over 500 feet tall is an obstacle in the path of avian nighttime migration and must be thoughtfully designed to operate and operated to minimize its impact. This is a pie chart that shows the factors contributing to bird mortality in the US. As you can see, the large chunk of it is from building windows and skyscrapers, which contributes to about 599 million bird fatalities a year.
So, what are the authorities doing to prevent this? They're introducing lights out programs in big cities like Chicago, Dallas, Philly, and New York. Bird friendly building policies and legislations help solve the problem of bird collisions, help out advocacy groups, standard organizations, and product manufacturers that are working with states, cities, and municipalities. In recent years, glass manufacturers have expanded their product lines to include bird friendly options that satisfy aesthetic, performance, and bird safety objectives. While in regional levels, U.S. states and Canadian provinces have adopted their own legislations that help protect the wildlife within their territory. Minnesota's statewide mandatory bird-safe glazing regulations follow leads reducing bird collisions programs, while Michigan's Safe Passage Great Lakes Initiative includes bird-friendly requirements. In January 2022, Illinois introduced its own Bird Safe Buildings Act, and in 2023, Maryland's Sustainable Buildings Act requires that newly built, acquired, or renovated state-funded buildings adhere to bird-friendly window requirements. While down in the municipal levels, the number of cities adopting bird-safe laws is growing rapidly. San Francisco was the first major U.S. city to adopt bird-safe legislation, the standards for bird-safe buildings, in 2011. In recent years, several cities across North America have established mandatory legislation for bird-safe building practices, including New York City's INT 1482 and Local Law 15 that requires all new construction and major alterations to utilize bird-friendly glazing in all buildings. This includes Washington, D.C.'s 2022 Migratory Local Wildlife Protection Act that goes into full effect in 2024, the Bird Safe Buildings Act in Illinois, and the 2020 city ordinance for Madison, Wisconsin that requires bird-friendly glass for new buildings larger than 10,000 square feet, sky bridges, and ground-level glass features such as sound walls and glass screens.
How does this affect us as architects and designers? The glass industry established its position on bird-friendly glazing with NG's publication of its updated bird-friendly design guide, which supports the prescriptive-based approach to bird deterrent markers, that is the 2x4 rule, proven to be reliable and effective in reducing the number of bird collisions against glass. When birds encounter glass, they mistakenly perceive reflections of the surrounding environment as open space. This confusion leads to collisions, causing injury or death. The severity of bird glass collisions depends on several factors, including the size of glass surfaces, the proximity of vegetation, the presence of other visual cues that help birds identify obstacles. In order to mitigate the impact of glass on bird collisions, bird design must prioritize bird-friendly strategies and materials. Most effective when on glass exterior, fitted glass includes adhered ceramic lines, dots, or other patterns. Channel glass is a U-shaped, translucent, machine-rolled architectural glass. Its unique geometry allows it to withstand imposed forces in ways conventional flat glass cannot. Ultraviolet reflective pattern glass can help prevent bird-window collisions while being highly transparent to the human eye. Birds avoid the glass because they can see the bird-friendly, colored patterns in the ultraviolet reflective glass. Patterns can be applied to the outside of windows to help birds see that glass is there. These patterns should be 1/4 inch in diameter or larger and be placed no more than 2 inches apart from each other. Multiple success stories and case studies provide compelling evidence for the effectiveness of bird-friendly building design strategies. One of these is the renovated Javits Center in New York City. After engaging with biodiversity research with NYC Audubon to study the rate of bird fatalities caused by building envelopes, Javits Center pioneered with installation of bird-friendly glass, which resulted in decreased deaths associated with bird collisions by 95%. It used a type of fritted glass that has a layer of ceramic frit applied to its surface during manufacturing. The frit is made from finely ground glass particles mixed with pigments, and the glass is fused to it. NYC Audubon was able to use the Javits Center as a success story for influencing legislation related to Local Law 15. Next up is the Aqua Tower in Chicago. On the 82-story residential skyscraper, Studio Gang's design called for fritted glass on the windows just like the Javits Center. Furthermore, deep balconies with railings create a wave effect to break up window reflections for the birds to determine glass when they see it. The wave-like rippling effect also serves to minimize wind shear and create shade. The collision monitors are noticing the difference at Aqua Tower. In one season, they found 2 dead birds from collision, compared to the 60 dead at the nearby building. Other forms of protecting birds from reflections is by strategic placement of building sites with their landscapes. We can consider means to isolate existing vegetation that is especially attractive to birds. If sited near water features, we can use furniture, landscaping, or architectural features to prevent reflection of water in glazed building facades. By fostering collaboration and community engagement, we can collectively strive towards creating a built environment that supports avian biodiversity. Avian conservation is essential for maintaining biodiversity and ecosystem health, as birds play a vital role in various ecological processes. Together, let us build a future where bird-friendly architecture is the norm and our urban spaces harmoniously coexist with the natural world.